Welcome back to Attitude Effort Results presented by Teamwork Online and the Clubhouse. Today's a good one. Today we're going to be fired up and you're going to have to pay attention a little bit because we're going to have some actionable steps and we're going to have a little bit of fun. Before we get into the episode, what is new with Attitude Effort Results? If you guys haven't seen this yet, I ask you to please stop living under a rock. We have a new website. And we are running fast. We do not run slow in this company. Personally, I do not run slow. Personally, Hunter runs faster than all of us. So what do? We launched a website. What is the website for? The website was built for a couple different reasons. The first and the most important one is one-on-one coaching. We have so many individuals come to us and say, how can I get into the sports industry? I don't really know what I want to do in life. I don't know what a career path is. I don't know how to break into the sports industry. We've done it. We can do it again. We're here for you. We want to help you. So we have 4 different platforms, 4 different packages that you can choose for one-on-one coaching. Yes, there is a paywall behind it because I don't want to talk to lazy people. So if you're a lazy person and you don't really want to get into the industry and you just want to feel cool by talking to somebody in sports, unfortunately, I'm not your guy. I want to value my time for killers. I want to value my time for elite individuals who want to get into this industry, who want to get into other industries, who want to grow themselves and upgrade themselves along the way. So that's what's new. We launched the website. Also, at the beginning of the month, we did a Teamwork Online live webinar, which was a blast. We brought in 3 marketing professionals from around the country, one on the entertainment and event side, one on the college side, one on the professional sports side. And we had an absolute blast. We're actually going to post that for you in the future as an episode, but Teamwork Online has that for you right now if you wanted to go to Teamwork Online and see that 1-hour live webinar with 3 killers in the industry from the marketing side of sports. All right, let's dive in. Today's objective of the episode: invest now and change yourself in the future. We need to invest in ourselves now. Young individuals, listen to me, please. Let's start investing in our future selves now. Instead of going out to the bars every night, instead of going out to clubs every night, instead of playing video games or watching TV every night, let's take a little step back and invest in ourselves now. Don't get me wrong. Love going to the bars. Still have a pretty good time doing that sometimes. But what are we doing to invest in ourselves now? Because it's going to pay dividends in the future, right? It's going to pay dividends in the future. So the objective of today's episode, invest in now, thank yourself later. Your life was not meant to be easy right now. It's not. I'm sorry to tell you, your life is not meant to be easy right now. It's meant to be hard. And with that mindset, you will be able to take over whatever industry you want to get into. Because there's a lot of lazy people in today's world, right? This episode will outline actionable steps for you to prepare for the future. Not to say that we don't want to live in the moment now, but we do want to prepare for the future. Let's dive in. Invest now. We're going to get 1% better. We're going to evolve, and we are going to have an upgraded version of ourselves at the end of today's episode. Invest now. We are only in our teens or our 20s or our 30s once. We're only in there once. Like, these years are periods of our lives that typically show the most growth personally and professionally. So why are we wasting them? It makes me so upset when I see somebody who has so much potential and we just waste it. Like, oh my goodness, some guy or girl come up and be like, I really want to grow, really want to grow, really want to go. Like, what does your room look like? What kind of food are you consuming consistently? What kind of routines have you set? Where are you valuing your time? What do conversations look like? I have somebody right now that every time they go in an interview, a hiring manager will take that person to dinner, and it's about how they treat the waiter and waitress. How are you treating people right now? You can't tell me you want to be a CEO or a GM or this or that and then go treat somebody poorly. What habits are you creating right now? That's important. That's very important, right? Understand that investing in yourself now means that you won't have the get rich quick story. You won't have that. And there are TikTokers out there right now, and there are influencers out there that have gotten rich quick. That is a choice, and that is a route. A very small percentage of people do it. It's a route. Very small percentage of people that do it. For us that aren't smart enough to do that, we're going to play the long game. For us who want to invest in our future and build something for the future, we're going to play the long game. And if you can go get rich quick now, let me know how to do it. And then I'll put all of that money into a savings account or an investment account, not a savings account, sorry, an investment account, use a different investments and go from there. We're not going to be that flashy person on social media right now with the Bentley at 27 years old. Not going to be us, right? But that's okay because we're going to grow for our future. And we can confidently say that to this point, our professional careers, Hunter and mine, and everybody around us, even the internships that we've done have not been a decision for that moment specifically, or that job was not taken specifically just for money. It's about investing in the future, right? As we get older, we take on more responsibilities. We live our lives only to get a little bit busier, right? They get a little bit busier. And so if you're waiting to be invested by other people, if you're waiting for other people to be around like, oh, I kind of like that guy. No, I kind of like that. No. You have to invest now. There are only, here's the thing, before I get too hyped up. Hunter and I talk to college students consistently. We'll do over 20 college speaking events during our Attitude of Results college speaking series this year. We talk to college students consistently. Hunter always jokes that he wishes he had the flexibility that college students have right now based on time. I couldn't agree more. You have more time in college than you ever will in your professional career. My cousin, who is a phenomenal student, a valedictorian in high school, a straight A student here in college, I was asking him the other day, I'm like, yo, how much time do you put in weekly at school? And this is a genius kid, puts in a ton of effort on school, cares a lot about school and grades, and is really good at it. He said 12 to 15 hours a week. 12 to 15 hours a week? You're telling me all college students have 12 to 15 hours a week that they're putting in on school, and they're like, oh my goodness, I can't take on an internship. I can't take on extra responsibilities. I can't go to the gym consistently. Yeah, well, guess what? Every week of your life after college is going to be a minimum of 40 hours a week. So you have time right now. Go invest right now. There's only really two types of people that should care about your self-thoughts right now. And we're going to get a little bit deeper into self-thoughts, self-motivation, not to get woo-wooey, but I think it's important. I think energy is important. I'm a very strong believer, obviously, in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, but that energy is real as well. There's two things that you should be thinking about in terms of energy that actually care about you, right? One is your past self, and one is your future self, right? That's whose self-worth should matter to you, and that's who you should evaluate it on. What has your self-worth been previously? What can you do to change that now? And what does your future self want for you? Now go find actionable steps and do just that, right? Do just that. I challenge you right now. We're going to talk about some actionable steps, but I challenge you right now to challenge your way of thinking, how you grew up, what your beliefs are. I challenge you to go challenge those, because that is very important in life. Very important. And I'm going to tell you a story here that is pretty deep to myself, something that I ended it in tears. And so I'm going to tell you it, and not to brag. I'm going to tell you it because I care about you and because I want you to get better. And so when we talk about getting better and investing in yourself, one thing that I did was I went and got breathwork help. I went and got breathwork meditation. I brought a guy into my house and I laid on my floor for 51 minutes straight in total darkness. We had meditation music and he spoke words that made me think. And he shut off my prefrontal cortex. For you guys out there who are not in human health and phys, your prefrontal cortex sits right about here, manages your fight or flight. Once that is shut off, you now get to think deeply. You now have to go through and challenge yourself. You have to go through and challenge your old beliefs. That's what you have to do. And so we did that. And in that, I had to go sit and think. I visually was able to think about my 5-year-old self. And the guy who was in my house at the time said, "What does your 5-year-old self think of you now?" And I started bawling like a baby. I mean, I'm an old German farm kid. I don't cry a lot. I'm not sure I've ever seen my grandpa cry. Actually, that's a lie. He lost a son once, and he cried then. One time I've seen my grandpa cry. Seen my dad cry maybe 2 or 3 times. And sitting in complete darkness, laying on my floor, listening to meditation music, I started bawling. And the reason is because that 5-year-old version was proud of me. It wasn't the stress or the anxiety or the nervousness or any of that, which breathwork and meditation help with. For me personally, that 5-year-old version was proud of me. I've taken steps to change my life. I've taken steps to grow. I have a wonderful, Christ-filled, faith-driven wife. I'm growing. I'm not perfect by any means, but I'm growing. And that is what I want for you guys. I want you to grow from the person who you were, take actionable steps in the person you are now to get to the future version of yourself that you want. Not that I want, that you want. And I think it's so important to get 1% better. And I think the 1% better is a cliche, and there's a reason it's a cliche. For me, 1% better means you have to do one thing every day that either challenges your mind, challenges your education, or your body to get 1% better. That's it. Here's 11 common traits of successful people. Okay, I'm going to rack them off for you. So listen in. Passion, resilience, confidence, creativity, optimism, curiosity, discipline, integrity, adaptability, willingness to learn, strong work ethic. Here's the thing. You don't need to have all 11 to be successful. However, you should strive to develop traits that you currently don't exhibit well. If you don't have a willingness to learn, let's work on that. If you don't have a strong work ethic, probably not listening to this podcast, but let's work on it anyways, right? If you don't have optimism, creativity, go work on that. Maybe you're a really hard worker, super disciplined, pride yourself on integrity, but don't have confidence to showcase some of that. Let's go do that right now. Challenge yourself to improve in the areas that you're currently lacking. I currently lack creative and strategic approaches. I'm a worker bee, y'all. I'm a dairy farm kid, 6th generation. I'm a worker bee. Nobody's outworking me. Promise you that. Nobody. But I'm not the brightest in the room. I didn't have parents who were Harvard grads. I go do the things other people tell me, and I do them well, and I work harder than anybody else. But guess what? I currently lack strategic and creative approaches. So guess what? I have an accountability mirror. That accountability mirror has 4 things that I want to change about myself, that I need to have affirmations that I look at every morning and every night. So on my accountability mirror, currently, right now, if you went into my bathroom, you would see it. I have written on the mirror, on top, The first thing is actually I am a husband first because I don't want to get caught up in my work and I need to be where my feet are sometimes. And sometimes I like to run very fast, but I have to remember that I'm a husband first. The second thing is I am strategic and creative. The third thing is I am a leader. Two things right now that are relatively challenging in my mindset because I'm a current worker. See how I use the word current? Worker bee that works harder than everybody else that produces results. But my next step in my career, I want to be a leader one day. So I have to have strategic and proactive approaches. So I put that on my mirror. I say it to myself every day. Sounds woo-wooey. It works. Promise you. Crazy story. The fourth thing on that mirror right now, I told you I had 4. The fourth thing is I rest when needed. The first day I put that up there, I haven't taken a day off of working out or podcasting in the morning in probably a month and a half. I'm doing interviews in the morning. I'm working on the podcast. I'm getting up early to go lift. Those are the 2 things I do every morning, and I love them. I knew I was going to have a pretty busy week coming up, so last week it was like Tuesday or Thursday. I put that on my mirror for the first time. I kid you not, the second my alarm rang at 4:45, because I changed it to 4:55, I changed my alarm to 4:55 because a lot of people wake up at 5, but I just want to be 1% better. Seems cheesy. It's all right. You guys can think that. I do it. I'm kind of crazy, by the way, but that's okay. So alarm rings at 4:55. The first thought that comes into my head is I rest when needed. Turn the alarm off, went back to bed. I rest when needed. It was going to be my 4th day in a row lifting. I knew I was going to go climb a mountain the next day. I knew I was going to get a lift in that Friday. I knew it was a busy week. I knew I was going to be exhausted. I rest when needed. Today was not a need to go to the gym, so I rested. And guess what? I got better because I still have a ton of energy right now in front of you, probably because I rested. Right? So go write those on your accountability meter. You want actionable steps to change who you are now? Go write I am statements or statements that you want to believe, that you want yourself to subconsciously believe consistently. Go write them on your mirror. Sounds crazy? Send pictures of them. I want to see them on Instagram. Tag us at Attitude After Results. I want pictures of your mirror. And also, you can't take a picture of your mirror without you or your phone being in it. So give us a thumbs up or something like that, right? Have some fun with it. Schedule time to create habits, right? Reading, working out, studying, practicing, whatever it is. I want you to do one thing. Here's another challenge for you because I love challenging people and I want you to challenge me as well. Just do one thing that allows you to get better each day. One thing, that's it. We don't need to change the world. Just do one thing that challenges you to be better, that makes you better every single day. Guess what? Newsflash, I have lazy days. I know, it's crazy. If I wasn't married, I probably wouldn't, but Callie makes me have lazy days, and that's great. I need that in my life. Go find yourself somebody who compliments you very well. I have lazy days where we will literally sit inside for 8 hours straight and not move from the couch, except to go grab some food or a drink of water or something. I have those. They're rare. They're far and few between, but I have them. On those lazy days, maybe you wake up hungover, maybe you took a day off because you didn't want to do anything, you just want to sleep in. You need to do that sometimes. On those days, you can still get 1% better. On those days, what I do is I will sit for 15 minutes. I'll sit on the couch for 8 hours. I'll get up for 15 minutes and stretch. And guess what? I got better today because one of my personal goals is to stretch consistently 2 days a week is actually the smart goal, if you want to put it that way, because I want to continue to be athletic. I want to continue to move. I want my body to feel great. I want when I'm 60 to be able to play catch with my kids. I want to go skiing on the water when I'm 60 years old. I want to show my kids and their friends that I'm still cool when I'm 60 or 65 degrees by skiing on the water. That starts now. I'm 27 years old. That starts now. I got to stretch. I get 1%. I sat on the couch all day, but guess what? I did one thing today. And guess what my mind says? My mind says, you got better today. You may have sat on the couch for 8 hours and for 15 minutes of them you did some, but you got better today. It's a mindset shift. And I challenge you guys all to have that as well. Use your future as your fuel. Use your future as your fuel, right? Because one thing today, stretching today, moves the needle 0% today. But if I stretch 2 times a week, deep stretching 2 times a week, and I stretch 1 time a week when I'm watching TV, 3 times a week over the next 30 years is going to add up. By the time I'm 60, I should have done the math prior. I didn't. That's a lot of time stretching, right? Love my grandparents to death. They couldn't go right now and ski. But guess what? My dad rides a bike almost every day. He's going to be able to ski when he's 60. That's his goal. So he rides a bike every day, not because riding a bike every day makes him incrementally better every day, but because he can still move his body and have range of motion and do fun things with us. Now we get to go play pickleball with him. We get to climb a mountain with him. We get to do all these things that my parents never got to do with theirs at that age. That's their goal. Find your goal and do one thing every day that makes you a little bit better. I then want you to think about this term evolve, and I'm going to use it as shedding your own skin. Like a snake. I live in Arizona, so there's snakes everywhere. Actually, I've never seen one, transparently. People are like, oh, snakes and scorpions in Arizona. I've never seen either of those. So shed your skin, evolve, grow. You're not supposed to be the person you were 5 years ago. You're not supposed to be the person you are 5 years ago. It pisses me off. Really, really, really makes me upset when people say, oh man, you've changed. You haven't? Oh man, you've changed. Yes, I have. And everybody should be changing. The world is changing. If you're not changing with it, you're dying. You are either growing or you're dying. You're either green and growing or brown and dying. That's it. There's only 2 sides. There's only 2 sides. It really frustrates me. And I'm not going to go down the path because I'm going to get really upset. When you go back home, like we've lived away for about 4 years now from our quote unquote home. And before that, I was in school for 5 years. So I haven't lived that where my family grew up in 9 years. I'll go back and see high school friends or this and that. And people are like, oh man, you've changed. Yes. Yes, I have. It's been 9 years. Yes, I've changed. Thank the Lord I've changed. I've grown. You should not be stagnant. You should be changing consistently. In fact, what I just talked about, every day you should be getting better. Sounds tiring. It sounds exhausting, but if you break it down every day, you're just going to see change. I have conversations now with people that it's not a major deal to me and Callie anymore, but it's mind-blowing to some people. Here's an example. We were at Chipotle the other day, actually, after an event, having a conversation with 2 individuals, and they're asking us about our rental properties, which is great. I love talking about them. I love helping out others. Like, hey, here's what we've done. I've messed up a couple times in real estate already. Like, tell about my failures. And they're like, oh, like, what's the point of buying a property now, cash flowing $100 or $2 every month? Like, that doesn't, you just spent, thousands of dollars to cash flow $100 a month. That doesn't make sense. You won't break even for 10 years. I'm like, correct. They're like, it doesn't make any sense. You're not making any money. I'm like, I'm not making any money right now. But guess what? In 20 to 30 years, my mortgage is going to be paid off, and that property is going to be paying me $10,000 in cash flow every month. Yeah, it took a good chunk of change, and we emptied our bank accounts. But guess what? In 30 years, that property is going to be doubled in value, so I can cash out if I want, or I can just let it pay me $10,000 a month in cash flow. Guess what? Now what? Callie and I our goal is a property every other year. So in every other year in 30 years, that means I got 15 properties. Well, guess what? Every other year then, I'm going to be cash flowing an additional $5,000 to $10,000, obviously depending on the property. And they were just blown away. They were like, holy smokes, you're thinking about 30 years from now? I don't even know what I want to do for work tomorrow. And it blows my mind. blows my mind sometimes. I don't even believe that that's a crazy of a change or crazy of a thought, but we've just gotten 1% better. And now we get around people that haven't been getting 1% better, that are the same age or older than us. And they're like, oh my goodness, that's a wild thought. That's crazy. That's a good idea. Maybe I should start. It's like, well, you're 10 years behind now, right? So what can you do every day, just one thing every day to continue to be a little bit better? We're not asking you to change the world today. We're asking you to be a little bit better. Hunter came into professional sports to work for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and for just over a year got 1% better each day. He evolved. He shedded his old skin and got an opportunity that is grand. And guess what? In a year and a half, when he's done there, when he's done in Buffalo, he's not going to know how good he is, because everybody around him is just going to be walking at the same pace, and he's been learning to sprint for a year and a half. And he's not even going to notice it. I don't even notice it so far. I've been in the sports industry for 4 years now, full-time, 2 years of internships prior. I don't even notice some of the conversations that are so above where I used to be 4 to 6 years ago, because it's just 1% better every day. So that's my challenge to you. You're either dying or growing. I kind of want to be on the growing side. So I challenge you to do the same. And that can look so many different ways. That can be, getting a workout in the morning to start your day. Do fear things first. Firm believer in that. Prospecting first. Go get your first guitar lesson in before 8 o'clock. Go crush a presentation. And when you crush a presentation, guess what? Fist bump a little bit. Let's have a little bit of fun, because part of changing who you are is, one, figuring out what are the main things that you enjoy about the person you are now, and what are the main things, we'll call it 3 things. What are 3 things you absolutely love right now, and 3 things you absolutely need to change? Because you don't want to change your whole life at once, because then you're not going to know who you are, right? Because knowing who you are as a person is important. So if you change everything at once, you're not going to know who you are. So let's take 3 things that we really love about each other, really love about ourselves, and then take 3 things that we want to change, right? And a thing that gets lost consistently is that we need to praise ourselves as well, right? You go and do fear things first, and you get a workout in before 8 a.m. Dude, I'm talking to myself. Let's go, Tanner. Great job, right? Good work, dude. Nobody is doing this at 4:55. Great freaking work. You go crush a presentation, guess what? You just put 10 hours in. Tanner Natsky, great work. You just prepared better than anybody else. You are a killer. You are great at preparation. You deserve this job. I'm proud of you. Great work. Let's go get the next one. Because positive self-talk is so infatuated. You get so infatuated with yourself. You get so motivated with yourself because you have a dopamine hit. Dopamine is a chemical found in drugs, cocaine, heroin. Yeah, I just went from having a great time and talking to yourself up to cocaine and heroin. Guess what? That's called versatile. You want a dopamine hit. Drug addicts, why do they stay drug addicts? Because they get a dopamine hit every time. Go give yourself a dopamine hit. I'm not talking about shooting up right now. I'm talking about going to give yourself a dopamine hit every time you do something positive, because it reinforces positive behavior. It reinforces great behavior from yourself. And guess what? Now you don't need anybody to give you motivation. Motivation is crap. Okay? Motivation is crap, because motivation lasts a very small time. Guess what? If you can motivate yourself and consistently do that, you get to control. You get to control it. You get to control it. So don't forget about giving yourself some love. And guess what? I talk to myself in the gym all the time. And guess what? People might think I'm crazy. I don't care. I don't care what other people think about me. I care about getting you a job. I care about finding your passion. I care about you growing. I care about my faith, and I care about my wife. That's pretty much it. I just don't care about what you think about me. And neither should you, because other people are staying stagnant, not you. You're growing, right? you're going. Love yourself and tell yourself that often. It's a major part of growing as an individual. And guess what? Who cares if you look crazy or weird or whatever? Nobody cares. And guess what? You shouldn't do things to impress people that you don't care about. Right? You're becoming a better version of yourself. So you can go be better in yourself. And so you can then, the ultimate goal is to help others by doing that, right? People thought we were crazy to start the podcast, and we got a little and still get a little criticism here and there. Guess what? I don't care. Who cares? You don't like the podcast? Cool. Don't listen. Guess who's going to care? Not me. You do like the podcast and want to share this and help others? Now I care, because now you're growing. And guess what? The reason I care is because, one, my biggest why is to serve others, because Christ served us. That's my why. Go get the book, Start With Why, Simon Sinek. Not a partnership. It changed my life. There's a plug for you. The reason that I want to get better and grow is to give back to other people, because I saw it change my own life. I have a better life now because somebody along the way told me I needed to change. And I feel called to tell you to do the same thing. Right? Do what you need to grow yourself. And positive affirmations and consistently reinforcing those good behaviors are so important. It's about how you grow and evolve along the way. That's important. Because we were actually taught as kids, I would say 90% of America taught as kids like to not do this and not do that. You get done with a game, who sat in a car with their father or mother after a game and just been like, ugh, here it comes. I know I let that ball go through my legs. I know I missed the free throw. I know I let that goal score. I know I should have. You know it's coming, right? Like who's sat in a car with their parents after a game and been like, oh, don't talk. I know it happened. I don't want to get criticized for what I did wrong. Right? Or after a recital, you're like, I know I didn't hit that note. I don't need you to correct me. I already know it. So everybody was learned. Good job, Tanner. Good vocabulary. Everybody was taught as a kid to fix the negatives all the time. Just fix negatives. What if we give ourselves a pat on the back for the good things too? Because I believe in changing negative behaviors and attitudes. Don't get me wrong. I'm about to talk about it next. But I think more importantly than that is reinforcing positive behaviors. So your system, your subconscious, your brain knows that, hey, when I do that thing, there's a reward attached to it. Okay? Now, secondarily, I'm going to go into 3 things that you want to change. What are 3 things that you want to change? We don't need to change the world, just 3 things. Maybe it's cussing, or I want to eat less sweets, or you guys know that I'm, this year, one of my goals is to have 2 days of chocolate and sweets a week. That's it, just 2. Don't care how much it is during those days. I could empty Culver's out of ice cream. Doesn't matter. But discipline for 2 days. What are those 3 things that you want to change? Now, figure out where they come from, why you think you need to change them, and then go find actionable daily tasks to do them. You're not going to fix it today. You're not going to fix it tomorrow. You're not going to fix it the next day. But you can start to change that now. For me, it was understanding the poor person mindset. And I'm going to call my dad out here. I love him a lot. He's my favorite person in the world, and he's the reason I am today, but I'm going to call him out a little bit. I believe, circumstantially, we had a poor person mindset growing up. That's my thought. That's my belief. Nobody can change that. Could be right, could be wrong. That's my thought. We could not leave the house or a room without turning the lights off. Who's lived in a household like that? Like, turn the lights off. I know you literally just stepped out and you're going to go back in 4 minutes, but like turn them off, and then in 4 minutes you can turn them back on. If you actually take an electric bill based on lights over a calendar year, I bet you would come out to like less than $100 a year. If you left the lights on all day long, it would charge you less than $100 a year. So the mindset, the cost of lights, not that expensive. $100 a year, less than $10 a month. That's a Starbucks coffee and a half. The mindset that I am currently trying to change there is the poor person mindset of like, why do you need to turn the lights off? Because you think you're wasting money. That's the deep thought, right? So when you go through these three things, when you're actionably starting to figure out what these three things you want to change, you need to figure out what they are and then why you have those. For me, I'm like, Callie was like, dude, stop getting upset about me not turning lights off. I'm like, you got to turn them off. She's like, why? I'm like, because they got to be off. That's what I know. That's what I learned. That's what I was taught. She's like, actually, why do they need to be off? I'm like, well, because we're losing money. And she's like, we're losing money? The 14 cents that I just saved, like that matters to you? I'm like, well, no. 14 cents doesn't matter. We're cool. I think we're fine on 14 cents. She's like, well, then why are you taking so much energy and mind space on these lights? I don't know, because I've never worked through that, because I've never gone deep into it. It was always just like lights on, lights off, right? So the mindset that I'm trying to change, I will go and turn lights on. Right now we're recording. There's a room over there that's not being used, and our kitchen currently not being used. I turned them on before the podcast. And now I have to look at them being on right now, not being used, because I'm trying to change my mindset that the lights, it's the mindset that like, listen, if those lights are on right now, I'll go make more money. I'll just make another call. Right? Another one that I'm doing, like I won't take $5 or $10 coupons anymore. I'm trying not to. I'm learning right now. Because I want a mindset of abundance. Of like, listen, if I want to go save $5 or $10, like I'll just go make more. Whether that's right or wrong, that's a mindset that I'm currently trying to get out of. So I'm not saying that taking a $5 or $10 coupon is a poor person mindset. I'm saying that's a mind shift of like, listen, I think there's more resources and opportunities and experiences in the world, and I'm just going to go find them. I don't need to go to Whataburger because I have a buy one, get one. I don't want Whataburger. And because you gave me a buy one, get one chicken sandwich, now I'm going to go there. No, I don't want it. I'm going to go use my space, my energy on something that I want, that drives me, that drives others, that drives my wife forward. Does that make sense for you guys? Another thing that I do, again, daily steps and monthly goals. Daily steps, monthly goals, and then track your progress. Another example, and then I'm going to wrap it up for us today because I've been on a soapbox for a while today. And we're getting close to 40 minutes, and Hunter's going to get upset at me because these aren't supposed to be an hour long. But one more example, because I can do it. And Hunter can't tell me to stop recording right now. Daily steps, monthly goals, track your progress, watch your life slowly change. There's not a get-rich-quick scheme. Sorry if you're in that market. Go buy some crypto and pray to God it works. Another example of that for me personally, and I think actionable and steps and examples are important so you guys can visualize in your life. When I go golfing, I do not put a tee on the ground at a par 3. For those of you who are golfers, typically you put a tee on the ground so the ball lifts up a little bit. You can get underneath it with your club, and you don't like chunk it on the grass. Typically people do that. It, works better. I don't put a tee on the ground on par 3s. Some people are like, oh, he's not putting a tee on the ground. He must be pretty good at golf. Nope, still stink. Currently stink. It's all about how you say things to yourself. I currently still stink at golf. I'm getting better. But guess what? I don't put a tee on the ground because between now and in 30 years, when my kids are my age, when my kids are high schoolers or whatever, I'm going to be able to smoke them in golf. I'm going to smoke them. Because from now until when my kids are golfing with me, I have 20 years in between there probably. Guess how many swings I get to take off of grass versus everybody else who would just put a tee up there. because I'm not competing for now. I might lose a bet now. I might lose a round of golf now. I might, shoot a 90 or 100 on a golf round now. But guess what? When I'm older, I'm going to be able to go to golf outings and play at courses that I currently can't play at, right? I currently probably could not go to Torrey Pines or go to Pebble Beach, or because I don't have the skill set, and I'm going to spray balls left and right. And people are going to be like, I don't really want you back here. So when I'm on a golf trip in 20 years, I'm going to invite my best friends that know and enjoy golf. And guess what? The people that are making fun of me for putting it on the ground right now and chunking a shot off a par 3 because I didn't put a tee, they're going to be at home, not at Torrey Pines. They're going to be at home, not at Pebble Beach with me on my golf trip. That's what I want you guys to be thinking about. What can you change in your daily routine right now? What can you change to get 1% better today? Right? Because in 20 years, I'm thinking in 20 years, we're going to be on this gorgeous golf course with my best friends. My wife's going to be there. We're going to have all this fun. And guess what? The people that are like, oh, you didn't put a tee on there. What are you so good? Their thoughts are going to be the very last thing in the world that I'm ever thinking about when we have that experience, because that's a goal for me. And guess what? I still chunk 50% of my tee shots, and people are like, oh, well, you're really not good. Like, you should probably use a tee. I could use a tee. The reason behind it is I'm getting 1% better, right? I'm getting 1% better. Find the upgraded version of yourself. Don't go find the upgraded version of somebody else. Take 3 things that you really like, okay? Here, we're going to recap everything because I've been talking really fast and I'm kind of juiced up. Take 3 things that you really love about yourself. Give yourself affirmations consistently. Tell yourself you're doing a good job. Hype yourself up at the gym. You get back from the gym, you look at yourself in the mirror like, come on, Tanner, you look great. Continue to grow together, my friends. I absolutely love you guys. I want to consistently help you be better. I want to consistently help you grow. Actually, before we leave, I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to tell you to go share this. Share this because I'm kind of crazy, and I think other people want to see my crazy. The second thing I'm going to say is go make somebody else's day better. Go impact other people, right? And by doing that, you're going to change the world. You're going to change the world. Follow us on social media. Go look at our website. Kyron Rudolph, our social media manager, is phenomenal. She helped with our web developer and going to get that website up and running. And so that is my challenge for you today. I hope this was impactful. Let's inspire others. Continue to grow together.